Here, this perp back with another video, and I just got done watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? Ghost Island episode 2. Now, man, this episode I feel like was a improvement compared to episode 1. There is something I forgot to mention about the end of episode 1, that they left the door open for door 13, so a bunch of ghosts are let out, and we're going to start to see the ramifications of that. And man, yeah, let's get right into it. I don't want to waste no more time. Let's talk about it. So I like how this episode kicks off where we get a flashback, and it's a really well shot flashback, I gotta say. This whole show, I feel like, it looks nice. It looks nice. Some of the effects, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? It works. It's not too over budget, and it's like right in the middle. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, we have a younger Kayla talking to her sister, and them doing the whole Charlie, Charlie, Charlie game thing, whatever. And forewarning, kids, do not do this. Do not play with Ouija boards. I just don't understand why people have this obsession of just messing with spirits. Just don't do this. But anyways, things start to kind of get weird since that day they started to play that game. And, Kayla wakes up from the dream. And now everybody is kind of questioning what went down the previous night. Summer is kind of just like nonchalant about it. She's just like in disbelief. But Kayla is really determined to figure out what's going on. And so she starts to kind of look into this guy that was looking into the hotel, like he was kind of like a ghost hunter, if you want to call him that. And what ends up happening is she gets distracted, and somebody ends up taking her phone. The little girl that you've seen in the first episode, and she's able to kind of get away. But then, like, you get this weird scene of her just kind of, I'm talking about Kayla, looking at the mirror and hearing this knock, knock, knock sound. I gotta say, the sound design is really eerie. There's some really eerie tension that gets built out throughout each episode. I really like the music. And then, like, the creepy owner, you know what I'm saying? He obviously knows more about this hotel, and he kind of jokes about this being, buried. This whole hotel being built off of a Indian burial ground, which I'm guessing that's like a callback to like The Shining, or maybe like Poltergeist or something like that. You know what I'm saying? This definitely kind of gives me Shining vibes at times. You know what I'm saying? But a little bit more of a tame version of that. And I could definitely see the influence of other kind of films throughout this season. There's definitely like a Sixth Sense type of thing going on with Max's character. We'll get into that as well. Now, this is what I really liked about this episode, because based off the first episode, I just didn't know what characters that I was really going to like. And we got a lot more character development throughout this episode. I like how they keep messing with Ferris here, and like he's in love with Summer's cousin. And I like that Leo, shouts to Leo too, because Leo has definitely grown on me, like, based off this episode as well. He pretty much puts it out there like, yo, instead of going for Summer's cousin, why don't you just go for Summer? You know what I'm saying? And that kind of leads into something else later on in the episode. We'll talk about that shortly as well too. But I just like that these little character moments we're getting with Kayla's friends and stuff, and them kind of fleshing them out. We get a quick scene of Kayla still like kind of just trying to get as much information about this guy that's been at this hotel and what's going on here, which a kid at this time, at this day and age, would do that, especially with all this technology. People are going to try to find out all that they can just through YouTube videos and stuff like that. Really eerie kind of scene, you know what I'm saying? That aside, we get another scene of, Max kind of thinking about, like, what's going on? Like, am I a ghost? And this was a really cool scene. I really appreciated this scene of Leo coming to check on Max and to see if he's all right, because he did kind of storm out, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Leo definitely kind of likes Max, and this whole conversation that they had, it seemed like Max was alluding to like he had like a secret, or he was in like the closet, or he was gay, you know what I'm saying? But it's really that he doesn't know how to feel if he's actually a ghost, because that's another thing that they've done in past like movies and shows with ghosts, is they lose their memory, or they just don't remember right away. So I liked how they kind of did that, and he pretty much kind of gave him some words of encouragement and stuff. I really appreciate that about Leo's character. You know, he's been always looking out for friends and others and stuff, and that's a really dope characteristic to have. Then we go over to Kayla, and we get this really creepy scene of her in, like, I guess it's like a cathedral, like some type of church, and they make mention of, you know, mirrors being the windows to the spirit realm and stuff like that, and you could really look into that. I believe that's very much true, you know what I'm saying? And she starts to call out to her sister, and that's the eerie thing about it. You know, when you're dealing with the spirits, you never know what's going to answer back. So now all the Summer, Ferris, and Leo are all kind of starting to look at her a little sideways. You know, she's kind of taking this too far, where she's starting to kind of sound delusional, and she wants them to kind of play the game Charlie with them, and they don't want anything to do with it. But once they start to play around with the stuff, things start to go really left, and everybody starts to get really uncomfortable, which makes Summer, Leo, and Ferris like just kind of leave the area. But in the next morning, they get a knock at the door. Not Ferris, but Leo answers the door, and it's a cleaning lady. She obviously looks dead. Like, that's just apparent. She doesn't look really well. Then Leo closes the door, opens the door, knocks again, and then it ends up being Kayla. And then Kayla comes by and tries to apologize for what she's done the prior night and whatnot. And it's all kumbaya. They all are kind of like making amends really quickly. It's really nothing to get, you know, to just like fight over. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are on vacation. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But then Kayla runs into Max, and then they kind of start to have a little conversation. Then she starts to kind of follow the girl that's took her phone. She has the yellow dress on and stuff, and Max goes with Kayla into like this laundry room. I really liked how this whole laundry room looked. It was really creepy, and I was just like, it's just an unnecessary amount of pillows in this laundry room. It's just so weird. But then she's able to kind of catch up with the little girl, and the little girl kind of gives up and gives the phone back. But they also find a camera, and it's the same camera that belonged to the guy that was kind of investigating the hotel back in '96. So this leads them down to like the basement, which this basement is really creepy and really eerie. They're just trying to look for things, and while this is going on, Max is he's just starting to remember things. And it doesn't help that the little girl, you know, obviously she can't talk. She uses the this little machine to kind of communicate. She has to sit there and hum really creepily, and just that just made me feel really uncomfortable. But this is what I really wanted to see. I've been waiting to see like what the actual ghost kind of looks like, and man, shout outs to JT and everybody at Are You Afraid of Dark, the whole team. Like, they're really good with these designs on these monsters and stuff, making them really like creepy, you know what I'm saying? So the little girl says, oh, there's danger, and she just kind of disappears and stuff like that. But then also Max starts to kind of disappear a few times in this whole entire episode. But they end up finding the tape, so they take it back. But before they can take it back, you know, once again back at the hotel, you know what I'm saying, or the room, I should say. Um, Leo gets a knock at the door. He's answering the door. It's the same cleaning lady, closes the door on her, and then it ends up knocking again, and then it ends up being Kayla once again, and it's just really weird. And then Max pops back up out of nowhere, and she pretty much says, like, look, we should check out this video to see what's really going on. Maybe there's a clue here that will help us figure out what we can do or what's going on. So they're watching this video, and they keep cutting to Max, and he's starting to just remember everything. And it's really creepy. And I gotta shout out to just Nickelodeon and just JT. They really pushed it here with just the violence, as far as just not really showing the death, but just you can kind of make use your imagination, and just hearing that neck crack, bro, that was pretty edgy, just for Nickelodeon's sake. I appreciate that. And he starts to kind of break down, like, all the people that have disappeared, and then Max starts to disappear, and they're like, yo, where's Max? And then they come to find out that Max is also a ghost, and they go to find where he's at. He's in room 13, and his dumb ass, excuse my French, is the one that kind of lets this ghost out. It's an evil spirit, let alone, and who knows what that's going to do now. So if people end up dying, you have no one to blame but Max here. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode. I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next. Till next time, I'm out.